Holy pilot seat, Batman! Hello there, Jokers, and welcome back to Build the Batmobile Tumbler from Hachette. We have issue 19, and in this one we're going to start building our pilot seat. Now, I can tell you, you're not going to be completed with the pilot seat in one issue. You're not going to be complete with the pilot seat in 2 issues, 3 issues, 4 issues. It takes 4 issues to complete the pilot seats. This thing better look bloody spectacular by the time we're done with it. Because it's slow going, but it will look nice. So this is a key component to the Batmobile, whether you like it or not. Where Batman sits, this is the throne of the Batmobile. So yeah, let's take our time on it, let's make it look nice. So in this one, what we're going to be doing is we are going to be putting the first components together. We're essentially building the base. So it is a little confusing because you're going to look at it and be like, how does he sit on this? Where does he sit on this? It's fine, all that's coming. So there's an issue with the seat pads in it. There's more coming. So what we're essentially doing at this point, we're building the frame of the seat. More is going to come off it and out of it, and you will see that very soon. We have been talking about Batman Returns in the past too. We're going to carry on with that with the production of it involving penguins and whips. No one whipped penguins, but we're going to be talking about the use of penguins and whips for the production of this. It's a weird story, but it's a classic Hollywood story. So let's get into this. Let's get this seat built. And let's get Batman somewhere to sit. This is going to look great when it's done. I know some of you are probably concerned at this point thinking, I'm not moving fast enough. Trust me, we're doing the cockpit. This is going to look good. By the time we get to the end of this month's pack, we will have this seat completely done in the car. It's going to look great. So let's get this started. Okay, so in here we get the base of the seat. We get... that's it. So we get these 2 pieces here, no idea what those are yet, and we get these 2 pieces here, and we get a little pack CP screws. That is it. So that's all that comes in this one. So what we are doing, I would imagine, is screwing those 2 parts to the side, and that'll probably be it. Yeah, there's a, wow, this is lean. There's not a lot to do, there really isn't. So the first thing we're going to do, let's move these for now, is we're going to take our seat here, and use it. So we've got these 3 screw inputs here. We're going to put it there like so. And then we are going to take this one here that way, and this one here that way. So we know where we're going with these. All right. Now these are going to fit together through the car. So we should be able to pop these onto these pins here, as you can see. So let's get that nice and snug. And then this one will slide through there, and it should marry to the pipe in the middle. There we go. So that's how that is. So that's how we're now looking. Simple enough so far, he says. That could be my famous last words. Now we have these 2 here. We have left and right. So inside of these you will have, there you go. So this is right. Yeah. Doesn't tell us which one we're attaching first, though. Nope, left. So we're doing this one first, right? So let's take our chair here like so. That's there. So left is going to go onto here like so. That's where that one's going to go. And then we're going to screw that in place with the CP screws. So let's get these CP screws ready. Yeah, it's a weird looking seat. I mean, it's a weird looking steering wheel as well. So it's very Batman. But I have no doubt that when this seat is complete, it's going to look awesome. So let's get this one put in. That one's going to go in there like so. And then we're going to pop in a single CP screw into this hole here to hold it in place. Okay. So that's up in there. So there is movement on it, but not lots. Flip that one over, and we do the exact same thing on the other side. We're going to put in a single CP screw to hold the right side in place. That one there. And that is it. that is it. Wow. Wow, that is it. That's, yeah, we're done. Lightning fast. But yeah, we are done. That is us complete. That's, wow, really quick. And that's what we've got. So you're looking at it thinking, how is that a seat? Well, it ain't. There's loads more to it. So that is where we are at the moment. I can kind of see how this is going to go. So you're going to have the actual seat cushion's going to come off there. We're going to have a back pad there as well. And then that is how that's going to go into the vehicle. Let's keep the faith. It's going to look really good because in the next one coming up, we have got more detailing for it. So we have the base of the seat and we have what look like armrests for it. It'll look good. Let's have a chat. Wow, that one was quick. That took me by surprise. Oh, we're done. But that was lightning quick. But okay, look, we're keeping the faith. Okay, because we know this is going to pay off in the end. So we're keeping the faith. We're not going to complain. There's not enough to do. We're keeping the faith because at some point, when you're running wires through this thing and trying to get a chassis to sit on top of a frame to sit on top of a chassis and get it all in, you'll be missing the days where you only had a couple of screws to put it in. That's all for this one. If you're just sticking around for the build instructions, thank you for stopping by. If you're sticking around for our back chat, we are continuing to talk about Batman Returns and the production of it, which gets weird. So Tim Burton's decided he wants to go for as many sort of physical effects as he can. He doesn't want to use animatronic penguins. He does, so he uses animatronic penguins, and he also uses actors inside penguin costumes. So Vern Troyer, who was Mini-Me in Austin Powers, is in Batman Returns. He's one of the Emperor Penguins. They then built, this is so nuts, they built little backpacks with rockets on for penguins and put them on them, and they taught all of the penguins to walk and stop at a clicker. And when the clicker sounded, it meant they got a fish if they stopped. So the scene where you see all of the penguins move into the center of Gotham, well, they did that. So they did it once, and what they did was they then mirrored that scene 4 times around. So when you see all the penguins suddenly turn left or suddenly turn right, they're actually doing that. That is real penguins, and they were following a clicker because the clicker meant you were getting a fish. So they would all just waddle along, click, and shoom, they go straight towards it because they knew that's where the fish was. It took about 3 months to train the penguins to do that. Can you believe this? So they had a giant holding area on set that was chilled, and it was kept super cold for the penguins. And a lot of the actors started complaining about this because they were freezing bloody cold. If you think about what Michelle Pfeiffer's wearing as Catwoman, she wasn't having a good time in sub-zero temperatures. The only person that said it wasn't so bad was Danny DeVito, because the padding of his penguin costume at least kept him slightly warm. Everyone else hated it. It was a nightmare to film because breath was coming out of everyone's mouths, and it got difficult. But all the penguins that you see in that scene that walk in the road are genuine. They really are real penguins. And then bullwhip. So again, they didn't want to use CGI. CGI was in its infancy at this point. They didn't use special effects. So Michelle Pfeiffer trained to use the bullwhip. So the scene in the department store where Selena Kyle, Catwoman, takes the bullwhip and takes the head off all 3 of those mannequins, she really did that, and she did it in one take. You can see it on the DVD features. You can probably see it on YouTube. She genuinely took out all 3 and then skips off with the whip. She's genuinely doing that, so she learned how to use the bullwhip. So a lot of the bullwhip scenes in Batman Returns, which there aren't enough of. If it's going to be her weapon, you don't really see a lot of it. But a lot of those scenes she did. She genuinely did. She took the role very seriously. So production went quite smooth. It went well. It didn't overrun. There were a couple of things that didn't happen. Burgess Meredith, who originally played the Penguin, was going to have a cameo in this movie as the father of Oswald Cobblepot, who throws him over the bridge at the beginning. But he got ill. Sadly died shortly after. But he got ill, so he couldn't do it. So he was replaced by Paul Rubens, who was Pee Wee Herman. So at the beginning of Batman Returns, Pee Wee Herman is the guy that throws Baby Penguin into the river. But the film's now all set, so it's set to be released, and it has a ton of licensing partners. Not as many as Batman. It had less licensees, but more licensed products. And this is so Warner Brothers keep control over it. And they started rolling out the Juggernaut in February. So the movie is not released until June in the USA, but the marketing machine starts in February. So it was going a good 4 months before the movie was released. And everything looked like this was going to be an absolute winner. But it wasn't. And we'll talk about why in the next one. Thank you for stopping by. If you haven't yet, please remember to like and subscribe. And a world where you can be anything at all, just be nice. And remember, Gotham needs us.